All right, welcome to the stocks we're looking at this morning for a morning breakdown. My name is Josh. I'm going to snap some lines in on the charts, and then we get an idea of where the stock kind of bounces and forms patterns so you can have an idea of where direction is and make some money in the market. Now, we're looking at AMC. We wanted AMC to give us a nice little pullback, and it did. Here's the top. We were able to grab some puts on this thing. We did not like it, how overextended it was. Every single time that pattern gets overextended, we get a nice little pullback. So we were expecting the pullback on AMC. If you're wondering, we used the blue EMA, which would be the 50 exponential moving average, 9 EMA exponential for the gold EMA. And this gives us a pretty good indication of direction in the market, and direction is tough. And so we want to understand the direction in order to know when to get in and out of the stocks. Now, the reason why this area is painted nice and blue is because this was actually a gap in the chart. If we go back and we check out the daily chart, which you should always be looking at daily charts. I feel like they are overlooked in many cases. There's a gap right here, and it came back and filled that gap. Now, a lot of times these gaps act as a good support, and we want to make sure that that is the case. Now, we also got a little bit of nice volume down here, showing that there is potential that AMC maybe found a bottom. We also get this nice tail candle. However, it did not really move up, and definitely didn't get up to the 50% on the prior candle. So what we want to look for is just that. We want to say, okay, and actually let's move this one up to about 50% of this entire red candle, top, bottom, 50% in that area. That gives us an idea of where there's going to be some resistance on that prior day, and we want to be aware of that. Now, dialing it down to a smaller time frame, let's go to a 30-minute chart. We get our nice reversal pattern. It holds that 50 on this opening range bar from top and bottom, 50%, holds the 50 before blast off. Now what we're doing is we're just fighting the blue EMA. We got to get it back above the blue EMA, which would make a whole lot of sense for us to, if we get up above it, we're going to start uptrending. Now, if you're finding this information to be beneficial, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. That way you're updated when we come out with new stocks and these levels for you to have an idea of where the stocks are going to move to. So what we're looking for is, we definitely got the bounce, the bottom, as we've been talking about. But this sideways consolidation, it took 1 day, 2 days before making a move higher. So 1 day and 2 day, we would like to see it kind of base out a little bit more. That would give time enough, that would give the EMA enough time for it to catch up to the price action and possibly get that move higher. Now, this is our 50% level, okay? And we have an understanding. Look where that ends up. Tops of these were 1 rejection, 2 rejection before building a pattern, then getting a support before making a move higher. And we also got this little consolidation right here before making a move lower. So that is going to be an area that we want to pay attention to. The next area that we got to get over, though, is going to have to be right here. We got our rejection. We have a consolidation. We did find some buyers, gapped it under. We filled the gap. Okay, so the prior day closed right here. Then we opened up down here. We filled that gap. Okay, and then we got a nice little sell-off rejection in the other way. Now, we do seem to be holding a support top of the candle of this power candle, the opening range bar. That is going to give us an area of where buyers and sellers are going to be fighting. We see the rejection here. We see more rejection on this wick before making a move higher and seeing where buyers came in. So between these areas right here, this is going to have a little bit of a battle. If it gets above, then terrific. It needs to hang out. It needs to wait for that blue EMA to catch up before making a move higher. Now, I was asked to go have an idea by the end of the year, RKLB, on where that is heading. And so let me see where RKLB is heading. Yesterday we said, hey, if it gets back down here, you could be a buyer at that blue where it held support the last couple of days. Now, it did get quite a bit underneath that. Did pop up. If you didn't sell, probably should have around that 50%. Wouldn't have been a big winner, but it's still a winner. And percentage growth wise, still 3%, almost 4%. Not too bad. I look at everything in percentages. However, you may have got stopped out at this point. And so good trade, bad trade, depending on how you took it. It still held that particular level in the chart. But I am not liking it the more it hangs out down in this level. What should have happened is this thing need to pop up, build a pattern up here. And guess what? If it doesn't do that, yep, I said you could potentially be a buyer down here. However, the move to me, I'm losing interest. The stock needs to get up here before making a move to the upside. So if the stocks, the point of drawing these lines in is so you understand what's happening in the stock. So when it moves up higher, you get an idea that, hey, if it starts building a pattern here, it's nice and bullish. Then it can make that move. If it gets rejected and comes down and starts hanging out down here and breaking the lows, it did give us a higher low, but this thing still looks like it's just curving down. To me, it looks like it's taking out the buyers down here. It's now making lower lows. It looks like it's just going to roll back down. I believe this, because it's a blue line, is another gap down there that it could fill. So that might be the one that we want to pay attention to. If the stock price gets down there, we will pay attention to it. Now, by the end of the year, let me tell you a little bit about RKLB. I think it's going to be back down here. The reason why is because that's where it likes to hang out. It's always around $10. Why wouldn't it be there again? This is just a pump and dump. Could it find support? Here's this other gap fill. It's another blue EMA. It might come down there. That would be neat. We could get a nice move. But let's go ahead and wait to see where it ends up before just guessing. At this point, we're still a little bit in la-la land. It has not found enough buyers to even turn a green candle or a candlestick green in the area that is currently at. So, again, slightly losing interest. But if you guys, once again, find this information to be beneficial, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow.